I'm putting Disney's Skip the Line service to the test under the worst conditions. Hello, ma'am fam. I am here today at Disney's Hollywood Studios. It's been a minute since we have done a Lightning Lane video, so I'm here with an update. And I've got my work cut out for me because I'm doing it in literally the worst conditions possible. For starters, I'm not a resort guest, which means I didn't get the longest possible booking window. For number two, even though I could have booked 3 days out, I didn't book till this morning at 3 o'clock in the morning. Number three, I didn't get here till afternoon. Number four, I'm at Disney's Hollywood Studios, the hardest park to use this system at. And number five, maybe most importantly, it's the day before Thanksgiving. It is incredibly busy today. So how does Lightning Lane function under all of those conditions? Let's find out. But before we get into it, let's just do the quickest Multipass Single Pass Lightning Lane 101 as a refresher since it's been a minute. This summer, Disney got rid of Genie Plus and rolled out an all-new way to skip the line service, which didn't actually feel all that new because it's basically FastPass Plus, if you remember that, the predecessor to Genie Plus. There are two different parts of this system. You have Multipass. This is priced per person per day, and the price varies on the season, meaning it's going to be more expensive during the holiday season than a random weekday in February. Purchasing Multipass means you have one-time access to the available Lightning Lanes around the parks. There are dozens across all 4 parks, and you can book 3 at a time. This is the biggest change from Genie Plus, where typically you can only book 1 at a time. The booking windows for Multipass Lightning Lanes are different if you are a resort guest versus a non-resort guest. Walt Disney World resort guests can book for their entire stay starting at 7 a.m. a week before their check-in day. Non-Walt Disney World resort guests can book at 7 a.m. 3 days prior to their ticket. Which, as I said, I'm not a resort guest today, I'm already at a huge disadvantage when it comes to those booking windows. When booking your Multipass at all parks but Animal Kingdom, again, you can book up to 3. You can select 1 attraction from Tier 1, those are your top Tier E-ticket attractions, and 2 attractions from Tier 2. At Animal Kingdom, there's no tiers, you can just pick 3. We'll get into what was available when I looked this morning momentarily. The second component to the system is called Single Pass, or what I have always called Fancy Rides. These are the attractions that are so popular that they are not included in Multipass, but they do still have a Lightning Lane. In order to access this Lightning Lane, you are going to need to purchase an individual Single Pass or Fancy Ride per person in your party. Again, the cost is going to vary based on the date. Those attractions at Magic Kingdom's Seven Dwarfs Mine Train and Tron Light Cycle Run, at Epcot, Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, here at Hollywood Studios, Star Wars Rise of the Resistance, and at Animal Kingdom, Avatar Flight of Passage. You do not have to purchase Multipass in order to purchase a Fancy Ride and vice versa. And again, both of these things use Lightning Lanes, which are just the physical location at the attraction itself. It used to be called the FastPass queue, it's just the line you're gonna go to. So if you hear someone say, I'm gonna book another Multipass or I'm gonna book another Lightning Lane, those are more or less interchangeable. For a full breakdown of the new system, literally everything you need to know, I did a very long Multipass, Single Pass, Lightning Lane guide when the system first rolled out. Then I did a video as a resort guest where I went to all 4 parks and showed you how to use it as a resort guest. And then I did 4 videos in each park as a non-resort guest. So lots of Lightning Lane resources for you. Go check those out because this one's going to be a little bit more high level, but of course I'm going to still give you my best tips and tricks, especially on a busy day. Now, like I said, I'm not a resort guest, which means technically I could have booked 3 days ago at 7 a.m. for today, but I didn't do that. Some of you asked to know what availability looked like day of. So this morning, specifically at 3 a.m. this morning before I went to bed, I went ahead and booked my Multipass. Oh, also sorry for the weird lighting. I'm standing in the shade so that I can read my phone as we review what I booked. Now, for starters, Multipass today at Hollywood Studios was $29 per person, which is pretty much the top of the charts for this park, and Rise of the Resistance, unsurprisingly, was unavailable. As far as the Tier 1s go, everything but Slinky Dog Dash was available, which I was pretty surprised to see. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, Rock and Roller Coaster, and Millennium Falcon Smugglers Run were all available. I went for Rock and Roller Coaster. Now, as far as the Tier 2s go, I wasn't shocked to see that the best Tier 2 options, Twilight Zone Tower of Terror and Toy Story Mania, were unavailable. So initially, I booked Alien Swirling Saucers and for the first time in forever, a Frozen Sing-Along, because those were just the ones I picked because the best options weren't available. Now, what I will say is what I initially booked at 3 a.m. is not what I'm walking into the park with. I'll tell you that in just a moment, but let's talk about what the other parks looked like for day of availability when I checked them this morning. Magic Kingdom also $29 and no fancy rides available for either Tron or Mine Train. Unsurprisingly, of the Tier 1 attractions, Tiana's Bayou Adventure was unavailable, but there were times available for all the other Tier 1s, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, Jingle Cruise, Peter Pan's Flight, and Space Mountain. Not great times available by any means, not all day long, but I was surprised to see all of those available. As far as the Tier 2s go, not surprised to see Haunted Mansion and Pirates of the Caribbean unavailable at initial booking this morning. Moving right along to Epcot, the only Tier 1 available was Soarin' Around the World. Frozen Ever After and Remy's Ratatouille Adventure were both unavailable, and the app also shows Test Track is unavailable as a Tier 1. Test Track's closed for a reimagining right now, so that's not available ever. And as far as the Tier 2s go, Mission Space was unavailable, but everything else was available. Multipass at Epcot today, $19. Guardians of the Galaxy, unavailable. And last but certainly not least, Disney's Animal Kingdom, $19 for Multipass, Flight of Passage, Fancy Ride, unavailable. And again, there are no tiers there. However, when looking at booking, Expedition Everest, Kilimanjaro Safaris, and Navi River Journey, all unavailable at 3 this morning. So again, walking in with the odds stacked against me, but I've already had some success, and I already have a better lineup than I went to sleep with at 3 in the morning. When I woke up, I had a few minutes before therapy, so I fiddle-faddled a little bit. I also fiddle-faddled as I was getting ready, and then as I was walking into the park. Which means I am now walking in with a 1220 Rock and Roller Coaster, which we're gonna go do right now, a 1255 Tower of Terror, which we're gonna do after, and a 520 Toy Story Mania. Compare that to what I initially booked just a few hours ago. Which brings me to my first tip, and the one you all know and love, Fiddle Faddle. It is your best friend. The Modify screen is your best friend. Fiddle Faddle is just a term I coined, although it is copyrighted by a snack mix, many moons ago, in fact, when we were still using FastPass Plus, and it simply means to refresh your screen to see if more options pop up. As people cancel things, as the attractions see how the capacity and the ride operation is flowing, more things will become available. So it wasn't surprising to me that I couldn't Fiddle Faddle for anything at 3 in the morning when the park wasn't open, but as soon as I started looking today and the park's open and it's moving guests through the rides, it's not shocking that changes are happening. To Fiddle Faddle, all you need to do is go into your Multipass, click Modify, and then pull down the screen, which will refresh it. Up at the top, it will show you if there are different times for that attraction, and down below, it'll show you the times for the other attractions if you'd like to change. Now keep in mind, if you are fiddle-faddling prior to your arrival, you can only have 1 Tier 1 and 2 Tier 2. So I couldn't fiddle-faddle Alien Swirling Saucers, which is a Tier 2, into Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, which is a Tier 1. But I was able to fiddle-faddle Alien Swirling Saucers and Frozen into Toy Story Mania and Tower of Terror, and then even fiddle-faddle further for better times at both those attractions, which is awesome. So we're already off to a much better start than it looked like this morning. So let's head to Rock and Roller Coaster. Oh, and the last thing I want to say before I get there and discuss what's happening to Rock and Roller Coaster is the fact that I say Hollywood Studios is the hardest park to use the system at because it's got the most bangers. It doesn't have a ton of rides, but most of them are very, very popular. Tower of Terror, Rock and Roller Coaster, Slinky Dog Dash, Millennium Falcon Smugglers Run, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, Toy Story Mania. Those are all very, very popular attractions. So therefore, it's a little more competitive to get those lightning lanes compared to, say, Magic Kingdom, which has a bigger quantity of popular attractions. Rock and Roller Coaster, starring Aerosmith, though not for long, is a thrilling roller coaster and the only attraction in Walt Disney World that puts you upside down, not once, not twice, but thrice on this thrilling about 90-second coaster where you are running late and have to get through traffic to get to the Aerosmith concert because you love Don't Want to Miss a Thing, the song from the hit 1998 cinematic masterpiece Armageddon, and you're just hoping they play it during their set. Rock and Roller Coaster has a 48-inch height requirement, making it the tallest one in the park, and it's incredibly popular because of the thrill factor. Right now it has a 70-minute posted wait, and that's pretty typical, so I'm very glad to have a lightning lane. Okay, but before I tap in, you know I have to mention the fact that Disney very recently this week announced that this is getting taken over by the Muppets. I have thoughts. It does mean that Monstropolis is going into Muppet Courtyard, which means we are losing Muppet Vision 3D, which I'm not ready to address. I'm already dealing with Dinoland. It's my nostalgia heart. I understand we need new things, and I'm very excited for Monstropolis. Don't get me wrong, Door Roller Coaster, hoping we get Harryhausen's, get Pizza Rizzo out of here, let's be honest. But I hold space in my heart for Muppet Vision, and I'm very sad about it. And again, they're changing Rock and Roller Coaster to be taken over by Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem and the Muppets, which I mostly have questions about, because what? I'm very excited for the Muppets to have their first actual ride ever. I just don't know if a roller coaster is what I think of when I think Muppets, because I think of like bits and comedy and more of a multi-generational attraction. But I'm gonna reserve most judgment until I see it, and I'm just gonna hope they play Cabin Fever. Thank you.
Wait a minute, I love that idea.
Okay, I'll make it happen. Now get out of here. Hi, Salads Bean. Listen, I'm gonna need a bigger car. Okay, folks, look, the show is all the way across town, but I got you a really fast car.
That ride really does bang, and I got my favorite song, because you never know which track you're gonna get, and I got the one that ends with Love in an Elevator, and the very last line, they go, love in a roller coaster, woo, and I like that part. And yeah, I get it, Aerosmith, dated, not everyone knows who they are, somewhat problematic, so I get why we gotta get rid of Aerosmith, but I will miss Steven Tyler's sweet nothings of yelling, 5, 4, 3 in my ear. But you know what, we'll see what happens. Also, there's no timeline on this yet. We have no idea when this change is happening. We have no idea when Muppet Vision's closing. I think we got plenty of time. So enjoy your next visit for Rock and Roller Coaster and Muppet Vision, but I don't think it's as imminent as, say, parts of Dinoland. I'm not saying not to prioritize these two attractions if you don't come very frequently and you're coming on your next trip and you're like, hey, this could be my last spin on Rock and Roller Coaster or Muppet Vision. I'm not saying not to do that. I'm just saying no timeline's been announced yet. I'm also saying it now has a 100-minute wait, according to this sign by the cast members, and I waited about 5 minutes to get into the pre-show, and then another few minutes to get on the actual ride, so Lightning Lane working sweet. And in that time, I booked my next attraction, because you can always have 3, which means as soon as you tap into your first Lightning Lane, you can book another one. And then when you tap into your next one, you can book another one, and so on and so forth. And that is a great way to maximize your dollars spent on the system. Now, very important, when you tap into your first attraction on Multipass, not Single Pass, when you tap into your first Multipass Lightning Lane, you have unlocked a whole bunch of power. It doesn't matter what it is, whichever one you tap into first, and you can go ahead and book that 4th one, you can now book more Tier 1 attractions in the park you're in. You could modify your Tier 2 attractions that you have remaining into Tier 1 attractions if they're available. You can also start to book park hopping, so you can start booking Multipass Lightning Lanes at other parks, and those Multipass Lightning Lanes at other parks can be Tier 1s. So if I was park hopping today, I could look for Space Mountain, I could look for Peter Pan's Flight, I could look for Frozen Ever After. You can start park hopping. So tapping into your first one, very, very important. Unlocks a whole bunch of other availability, and it unlocks park hopping. So as another pro tip, schedule one Lightning Lane pretty early, pretty soon after you're planning on arriving, so you can go ahead and unlock all of those other things. So after I tapped in at Rock and Roller Coaster while I was waiting to go to the pre-show, I went ahead and booked Millennium Falcon Smugglers Run, which was the only other Tier 1 attraction available. Not my favorite ride, but I wanted to go ahead and lock something in. And then while I was waiting to go from the pre-show to load the ride vehicle, I fiddle-faddled a few times. I did get got by Slinky Dog Dash, and I got by Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway a few times. That's what I call it when you click it, but you're too slow and then it's unavailable. But eventually, after literally like 45 seconds of refreshing, I was able to lock in a Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. It's not at the time I'd like, it's a little bit later, but we're gonna keep fiddle-faddling and keep moving on with our day. But to have the power of the fiddle-faddle at our fingertips is truly the way to do this. Because as you can see, it's very busy. Like, we're looking at an 80-minute queue for Tower Terror right now. Not for us, buddy. Tower of Terror is one of the landmark attractions at Walt Disney World. It opened up in 1994 and it's been a popular hit ever since. And it has a 40-inch height requirement and it is a drop ride experience. So it's not for everybody, but I love it. A lot of people love it specifically for the incredible theming and details throughout the queue and the ride itself. There's a slight backup in the lightning lane, which I'm gonna guess that means some of the elevators are down, so the capacity's running at less. They're still gonna prioritize the lightning lane over the standby lane, but this is my friendly reminder to pack your patient pants. And remember that just because you're in the lightning lane doesn't mean a walk-on, it just means significantly less than the standby line. But while we're waiting here, let's do a little wait time update. Here at this park, Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railway, 65 minutes. Millennium Falcon Smugglers Run, 60. Slinky Dog, 90. Star Wars Rise, there's just 160 minutes. Toy Story Mania, 55 minutes. No lightning lanes available on any of those, but we do have 2 booked. Alien Swirling Saucers, almost an hour, nothing left. Most of the shows are available for the next show except for Indiana Jones. And Rock and Roller Coaster's gone. Star Tours has things available, 35-minute wait, that's how you know it's busy. But it's not available for 3 hours, which also tells you that it's busy. Let's take a look at the other parks while we're doing this as well. Magic Kingdom, it's about 2 o'clock right now. It closes at 6 tonight. It is a Christmas party night, so we may see some lower wait times, like 20 minutes at Big Thunder, 15 at Buzz, 15 at Haunted Mansion, 15 at Small World, 30 at Jingle Cruise. If you ever needed reason to go, even during a busy week on a party day, this is it. Peter Pan's Flight 40, Pirates 5, Mine Train 55, Space 35, Tron 40. There's literally nothing over an hour at Magic Kingdom, and there's mediocre lightning lane availability. Again, party day could be your best friend. And at Epcot, Frozen, 60 minutes, nothing left. Guardians, nothing left. Mission Space, 15-minute wait, nothing left. Remy's, 60-minute wait, nothing left. 35 at the Seas, but there's availability. 65 at Soarin', there's availability. And last but never least, at Animal Kingdom, oh, look at that. Fancy Rides popped back up for Flight of Passage, which has an 80-minute wait. 30 at Dinosaur, nothing left. 45 at Everest, nothing left. 55 at Cali, nothing left. 60 at Kilimanjaro Safaris, nothing left. 65 at Navi, nothing left. Now, this is without any fiddle faddling, but just showing you how busy it is. Thank you.
Tonight's story in the Twilight Zone is somewhat unique and calls for a different kind of introduction.
The Hollywood Tower. Once you have seen it, everyone has seen it. It only pulls out from your left. When you may lower your hands, your rooms are just about enjoy
Yeah, this guy. The next time you check into a deserted hotel in the dark side of Hollywood, make sure you know just what kind of vacancy you're filling.
Tower of Terror, check. Now, I did point out that there was a little bit of a backup going in. It still only took about 15 minutes to get into the pre-show, which is when Disney stops the clock. So again, it may be not a walk-on, but 15 minutes into the pre-show is certainly much better than the 80-minute posted wait outside. Now, as soon as I tapped in, this one does have 2 touch points. Make sure when you're tapping in at the front, ask the cast member if there is another touch point, because you can't book your next thing until you've tapped 2. If they have 2, not every attraction does. But once I tapped in at that second touch point, I was able to book another lightning lane. It's kind of slim pickings right now. That is not surprising. A lot of attractions are cresting 90, 100 plus minute waits right now. So I went ahead and booked the Frozen show, which I do want to see possibly because they add some holiday flair that I haven't seen yet this year. So that could happen. But I went ahead and booked that for a little bit from now because I'm hungry. So let's go get a snack. Also, shout out to cast member TJ, who was my cast member loading me on the elevator. He's somewhat of a Disney legend. Not only does he have the Disney Legend name tag, which is the blue name tag, which is awarded to the top tier elite cast members. So that's how your first clue. But second, TJ is like literally infamous amongst guests because he is so wonderful and good at being a Tower of Terror cast member and a bellhop. So I was tickled to have him today. And I did try and fiddle faddle that Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway that I have for later today to see if I could get a sooner time. No luck so far, but look at this crowd. we will continue to persist. And I'd say for the conditions we're in, we're doing pretty good. I decided to come to Backlot Express to get a snack. I haven't eaten here in a very long time. It's kind of your stereotypical theme park food, chicken tenders, burgers, salads, sandwiches, nothing really phenomenal, but it is part of the new Disney French fry craze. A couple weeks ago, they rolled out a bunch of artisanal French fry dishes, and I've tried a couple of them. I'm kind of picking them off as I'm in the parks. So they have one of them here, and also one of my favorite kind of underrated desserts, so I grabbed that too. Backlot Express is kind of fun for the theming. It doesn't really fit in with the theme of Hollywood Studios now, but it did fit in with the original because this is supposed to be like the behind the scenes of how movie studios work. And so this was where a lot of props were hidden, and you'll see things like paint and tools, because this was close to the Backlot tour where you could actually see real TV show and movie sets and go through the costume warehouse and stuff. So I always like looking around in here because it's like if you were on a real movie lot, they would have all kinds of signs and police things and all kinds of stuff that they would use to bring out for movies and TV shows. All right, picked up my snack. First of all, the fries are the buffalo fries, which are ranch seasoned fries drizzled with buffalo ranch sauce and blue cheese. Okay, I'm into it. And then this is the Wookiee cookie, which is an oatmeal cream pie, but it's got this chocolate belt on it to be Chewbacca, which is adorable. And it has definitely changed since the last time I had it, because the cookies used to be more like a Little Debbie oatmeal cream pie where they're like soft and much thinner. These are thick with 2 C's. So I'm curious how this one will taste. But let's try the fries first. All right, fries first, obviously. Okay, Backlot Express. First of all, I love Disney quick service fries. I say this all the time. I said this when I reviewed the street corn version of these at Animal Kingdom. They're like McDonald's fries, which are the best fries. I love the ranch seasoning. It's basically like a Hidden Valley ranch packet on there. And then you've got a little kick from the buffalo. Not a strong blue cheese flavor, mostly the ranch and the buffalo. An A+ snack. Well done. Yum. I love Hidden Valley ranch packet. At my friends' gatherings, it's not a gathering until someone brings a tub of sour cream and that shakeable ranch in the little packet with chips. Every time. Every get together we ever have. It's a staple. And now this. A little worried about these cookies, y'all. They're not soft, I don't think. I'm upset. This cookie is a bang. It still has good flavor. It's not quite as oatmeal-y, but it's definitely an oatmeal cookie. But the texture's wrong. Like when I want an oatmeal cream pie, you want like a Little Debbie, like the really soft ones. It's not what this is. It's like thick and crumbly and dry. The inside's still good. It's just not as good now. It's still better than a lot of things, but it's not great. All right, one delightful new find and one disappointing revamp later. We are headed to go see the Frozen show. Now, the Frozen sing-along isn't something I normally would recommend using a lightning lane on. Usually on a normal day, you can get there 15 or so minutes beforehand and you'll get a spot. Days like this, not a bad use of a lightning lane. I would say Indiana Jones is the show that tends to run out of them quickly. So if you're gonna use it on a show, I'd start there, but it's busy. So the idea that I don't have to get there 30 or so minutes early to make sure I have a spot is nice. I can just tap in a few minutes before the show. And as always, friendly reminder, you should be on time regardless to your lightning lanes. Of course, things happen, and if you're a few minutes late, be nice to the cast members, and they may make an exception. I'm not talking hours, I'm talking a few minutes. But they cannot make those exceptions at shows because the show has to start at a certain time. It's not ever continuous like a ride is. So if you see a show window, be there on time because they will turn you away if you show up late. All right, and now that I've tapped in there, I can book another one. Every now and again, I've been looking to see if I can get a better time for Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. So far, no. But let's see what the options are to book a new one now. While I get that pulled up, I will tell you that for the first time in forever, a Frozen sing-along spectacular. It is a live show in the air conditioning for 20 minutes, which, you know, for some people is the best part. And it does feature some of the characters from Frozen, but it mostly features 2 narrators who are going to conduct a theater-wide sing-along, and during the wintertime, they have a special surprise.
The Arendelle Royal Historians! Oh, if you don't know the words, Just follow along.
Well, I got a feeling they already know the words.
You can tell.
We take you now to London in the 1840s, where Gonzo, dressed as Charles Dickens, is going to tell us the story.
That is my favorite one.
Started talking to the pictures on the walls. Hang in there, Jones.
Explain it to you later.
Well, where'd the boat go?
I'll tell you when you're older.
Wait, they died?
I know it's sad.
Dead parents? Well, come on, what is this, Bambi? Or Cinderella? Or The Lion King? Or Goofy Movie, I assume? Because they never explained Max's mom.
Coronation Day! Oh, Daddy. All right, that was for the moms. Welcome! Here we go.
I would never shut you out.
Kristoff, everyone!
Winter's a good time to stand and cuddle, but put me in summer and I'll be a
Your Majesty!
As we ring in the season with you, it's the first Christmas in forever.
happy, merry, holly, jolly season's greetings here. A happy solstice, tidings of good cheer.
Here's to be.
Saw the Frozen show. The narrators were killing me today. They had some jokes I have not heard before. I was laughing out loud, and so was everyone around me. So I love that show because kids like Frozen music. It's sitting down in air conditioning, and the narrators are funny. They're going to make jokes for the adults. So highly recommend that one as a good filler. I used a lightning lane, and if the show did fill up, but normally that is a good spot to just fill in between some other heavier hitter lightning lanes. Obviously, if you can get heavier hitter lightning lanes, do it, but I couldn't at the time. So, also during the holiday season, they changed the ending. Instead of Elsa coming out and doing another round of Let It Go, she brings out Olaf and they sing songs from Olaf's Frozen Adventure, which is the Frozen holiday short. And I think the music from that short is so good. It makes me cry. Like, the song When We're Together, like, just warms my soul, and it's so special, and I really like it. So I love that they do that during the holidays. I love that that's a holiday thing anyone can enjoy. If you're here starting in like November and December, you can check that out. So a must-see for me this time of year. Now, what did I book? That is the question. Initially, the options were pretty slim picking, so I went and booked Star Tours because that had a 40-minute wait or a 35-minute wait, so that was like the best choice because they were out of everything else. A little bit of fiddle-faddling though, and I got a Millennium Falcon Smugglers Run, which is again in Tier 1 for like 10 minutes from now. So let's head to Galaxy's Edge. Whilst we are walking to Galaxy's Edge, let's do another wait time check. Here at Hollywood Studios, Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railway, 80 minutes, no more lightning lanes. 100 at Slinky Dog, nothing. 170 at Rise, no fancy rides. Toy Story Mania is down, that's a bummer. No more lightning lanes. Nothing at Alien Swirling Saucers, 45 minutes there. These are all shows. Run out for Indiana Jones, 45 minutes at Smugglers Run. 95 at Rock and Roller Coaster, nothing there. 30 minutes at Star Tours, and there are some available for about an hour from now. 60 at Tower of Terror, none available. Again, this is without any fiddle-faddling, which hopefully you've seen is truly the key to my success. All right, at Magic Kingdom, again, the park closes in less than 2 hours for guests not going to the party. 25 minutes at Big Thunder, 15 at Buzz, 30 at Mansion, 25 at Jingle Cruise, 35 at Peter Pan's Flight, 5 at Pirates, 55 at Mine Train, 35 at Space, 80 at Tron. So not a ton of lightning lane availability because it does close at 6, but again, great wait times because of the party. Over at Epcot, 40 minutes at Frozen Ever After, that's not too bad. No lightning lane, no fancy rides for Guardians, 30 for Mission Space, nothing, 90 at Remy, nothing, 25 at Soarin', still availability, 20 at Spaceship Earth, still availability. And once again, last but not least, Animal Kingdom, 85 at Flight of Passage, nothing. 20 at Dinosaur, no lightning lanes. 60 at Everest, no lightning lanes. 20 at Rapids and 60 at Safaris, no lightning lanes. 50 at Navi River Journey, no lightning lanes. So hopefully you are seeing how busy it truly can be this time of year. And I know some people say this is the best time of year for them to come, or this is the time of year they can come with their families. But if you have the availability, if you have the option to not come here during a holiday, especially not Christmas, New Year's, Thanksgiving, 4th of July, Easter, I would recommend that immensely. I can't recommend it enough, just because you're already starting with these longer wait times and more people, and it's a little bit harder to make everything happen. And when you come during really busy times like this, everything's busier. The stores are busier, the restaurants are busier, the lines for characters are busier. It takes a while to get your mobile orders. So always pack those patient pants, but really pack them this time of year. And just keep in mind, it's not just the ride lines that are going to be busier if you come during the holidays. All right, we have made it into Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, onto the planet of Batuu, and I'm headed towards that fastest hunk of junk in the galaxy. I did notice they have brought back the single rider option at Rise the Resistance. It is a 170-minute posted wait right now, almost 3 hours for standby. I asked the cast member how long the single rider queue would be. She guessed about an hour and a half. So you're saving half the time, but still not a quick experience to do the single rider option. And no, the single rider option drops you kind of already into the attraction. It drops you in the room with all the stormtroopers off to the side, and then you mix in from there. So it could be an option if you've never ridden it and you're desperately wanting to ride it and you're not able to get that fancy ride because it sells out. I get that, but also, I don't know, I think I would rather rope drop it or jump in line at the end of the night and get the full experience and maybe wait a little bit longer than get the half experience but still have to wait a long time. Millennium Falcon Smugglers Run has a 38.38-inch height requirement. And again, this is the attraction that puts you inside this ship right here, the famed Millennium Falcon. You will be assigned one of 3 roles: the pilot, the best role, piloting at the front, the gunner, shooting down enemy craft in the middle, or the engineer, fixing everything the other ones break, aka pushing buttons in the back. Definitely the worst position. Yeah, oh, thank you. Have a good day. This one is very popular, especially among Star Wars fans, but it's also had the biggest variable as far as the tier 1 attractions here go. Most of the rest of them have remained an hour, if not 80 minutes or longer, pretty much all day. And this attraction is now 45 minutes, but not long ago it was over an hour. So this one you may catch a little bit shorter of a line. This one also does have single rider, but I don't recommend it because 1, you skip the pre-show, and the pre-show is very cool with some cool animatronics. And 2, the best part of this attraction is riding it with your family because it's a team mission. So it's way more fun to be with your family than me, the stranger in the back of a family adventure, just pushing buttons.
Repair test. Hit your flashing buttons. Oh, watch it! Look easy, eh? Hit the booster. Right pilot. Make the jump to light speed. As I promised, my friend. Come on, let's get another container of coaxium. Good job, my friend. Yes, yes, yes. Now after my modest profit, your cut minus what you owe me for damaging the Falcon is, hey, not bad.
Millennium Falcon Smugglers Run, check. I was the engineer in the back of a nice family that was having a great time. And I'm just like, I'll push the buttons in the back, but I did get 100, so there's that. Okay, when I went to book something else, there's not a ton of great options. There's some of the shows, Beauty and the Beast, there's another show. There's more of Frozen, which I can't book again since I already did it. There's the Disney Junior Show, Muppet Vision, Star Tours. That's pretty much it. So I haven't booked anything yet. I'm looking at Slinky Dog, which is a Snowball's Chance and HE double hockey sticks. That shows up. Or Alien Swirling Saucers are the 2 things I'd consider booking. Besides that, I still have Mickey and Minnie's in a couple hours, and I have Toy Story Mania in about an hour. So I looked, and the walk-up waitlist for Oga's Cantina was only 10 minutes. So I joined that because they have a new menu. So we're going to go get a drink and a snack while we kill time before Toy Story Mania. Walk-up waitlists are available in the app. You can either go you're going to book a dining reservation and then click join walk-up waitlist, or you can go to the dining tip board and join them there, or you can go to that specific lounge or restaurant's page and see if they have a walk-up waitlist and if it's available. It will give you an estimated wait time, and it'll send you a text to let you know you've joined the list, and then it'll send you a text when you're ready. While Oga's Cantina does take reservations, and if you want to eat there, I do highly recommend making one because there's not always availability on the walk-up wait list. There are some other lounges, such as Brown Derby Lounge in this park or Nomad Lounge in Animal Kingdom, that do not accept reservations, and the only way to go there is by joining that walk-up wait list. And as a pro tip, you can fiddle-faddle the walk-up wait list. Sometimes it'll say it's too full, but then if you click into it and change your party size, it will actually have space. So often it's judging based on a party of 4, and then once I click into it and go down to 2 or 1, it actually has spots. And if you ever want to join one and it says it's full, just keep checking back throughout the day because it will open up more than likely. Oga's Cantina is the finest watering hole this side of the galaxy, but beware, it is run by Oga, who is not... You know, she probably enjoys an under-the-table business deal. That's what I'll say. She seems like a savvy business lady. Oga's does have a 45-minute time limit for your group. There's not an amount on what you can purchase, but there is a 45-minute time limit. Most of the space inside Oga's is standing, and there are shared tables. So keep all of that in mind before you head in. And, of course, the main reason you're going in is to see DJ Rex. He used to be the pilot at Star Tours, but he was terrible at his job. But that's okay, because he found his life's purpose, and that is to be the best DJ for infinity and beyond. Taking a look at the Oga's menu, you still have fan favorite of the concoctions with alcohol like the Fuzzy Tauntaun, the Jet Juice, the Jedi Mind Trick, but they have a few new ones as well, including the Nacillion and Bubbles with Brewberry Essence, which is a gin drink, the Corellian Spike Cold Brew, which is a boozy coffee, and the Psylop, which is basically a spicy mezcal margarita. They have a couple signature wines and beers, as well as a large non-alcoholic selection. The Akivian tea, sorry Star Wars fans, I probably pronounced that wrong, is new, but then they still have things like the Jabba Juice and the Hyperdrive. They also still have the Provisions, one with alcohol, one without. Those are basically like Jell-O shots, and then they did add some snacks. They still have the Happabore Sampler, which is the meat and cheese plate, as well as the Batu Bits, but the new ones are the Bantha Flatbread, which is a 4-cheese and spicy chorizo flatbread, and the Umbaran cheese roll, which I went ahead and picked up. This was a space-dusted pretzel, dusted by something called buffalo, if you can imagine it. It was stuffed with herbs, cheese, and a dipping sauce, which was basically like honey mustard. This was delicious. It was somewhat similar to the pretzel roll everyone loves out in Disneyland that's got the cheese, but it actually had a little bit of a kick to it, had some buffalo flavor, had some pepper flavor, and then the dipping sauce was very similar to a honey mustard. I would absolutely get this again. Additionally, I tried the new Psylop, which is mezcal, grapefruit and lime juices, agave, a jalapeno concentrate, and it's got a chili lime seasoned rim, which I took a full mouthful accidentally on my first sip, but it was actually pretty good. You could taste the smokiness from the mezcal, but it wasn't overpowering, and it also wasn't too sweet like a lot of the cocktails are in Oga's. I would add this to my rotation of ones I like, so if you also don't like sweet cocktails and you like something akin to a spicy marg, give this one a try. Had a lovely time at Oga's Cantina, and now it is time for my Toy Story Mania Lightning Lane that I modified, fiddle-faddled to earlier today, so I'm headed into Toy Story Land. Still no luck snagging alien swirling saucers or Slinky Dog, shocking. And I still have not had any luck on getting a Sooner Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, so I'm gonna keep trying for those things. But for now, I'm excited to head into Andy's backyard. It is very people-y in Andy's backyard. If I was Andy's mom, I'd be like, where did all of you come from? Why are you at my home? But Toy Story Mania is the OG of the Toy Story rides. It opened up like 20 years ago at this point, which is hurtful. And it is still a banger. It is the 3D shooting ride where you are going to join Woody and Buzz and all of your favorite Toy Story characters as you try to win your way through several different carnival-style games. It doesn't have a height requirement, which makes it fun for the whole family, and it's pretty popular. It's maintained its popularity ever since. Now, it doesn't get usually quite as long of a line as Slinky Dog Dash, but it was at 100 minutes earlier today, and it's 70 right now, so still a good use of a lightning lane and definitely a good choice for Tier 2. Thank you. gosh, how cute is Reindeer Rex up there? That is so adorable. This lane gets a subtle but very cute holiday overlay, and I really like Reindeer Rex. I also love Ham Cookie, for the record. Okay, now, had a blast on Toy Story Mania. That ride really is fun, no matter what. And I noticed an Easter egg I never had before. It was one of those pads that you ride on with the clear plastic, and then when you lift the plastic up, it clears it. You know what I'm talking about, those toys? Anyway, it was one of those with a to-do list for moving, and it was like, get a moving buddy, and then the corrosion awareness seminar with Mr. Spell. And if you remember from one of the opening scenes of the original Toy Story movie, Woody talks about that when he has the meeting with all the toys. So I thought that was a cute little detail.
Tuesday night's plastic corrosion awareness meeting was, I think, a big success, and we want to thank Mr. Spell for putting that on for us. Thank you, Mr. Spell.
You're welcome.
I also noticed that in the closet, when you look at it from a certain angle, you can see Andy's outfit and hat that he wears to summer camp in Toy Story 2. So cute, cute, cute land. If you love those kind of details, I've got a whole secret series of little details and fun things to look for in all of the parks. Now at this point, it's again very, very busy. This is definitely the busiest park right now because Animal Kingdom's about to close. Magic Kingdom is closed to non-party guests. And Epcot at this point, Epcot's kind of a weird anomaly because it's got like 2 bangers as far as lightning lanes go, and then everything else is like fine. So this is the hardest park for sure to navigate the system with, and especially right now since 2 of half the parks are closed. So I'm not having much luck fiddle-faddling for a new time for Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, but honestly, at this point, it's like an hour away. So I'm just gonna hang out for a little bit, vibe, maybe stroll through a store, and then it'll be time to ride. But let's do another wait time update. It's a little after 6. Alien Swirling Saucers, 35 minutes. Slinky Dog, 130 minutes. Star Wars Rise of the Resistance, 160 minutes. There's basically no shows left at this point. There may be one Frozen left, but there's no more lightning lanes for it. Mickey and Minnie, 55-minute wait. Smugglers Run, 45 minutes, 135 minutes at Rock and Roller Coaster, 15 at Star Tours, 65 at both Tower and Toy Story. Neither of those have lightning lanes. Ooh, maybe I'll go see Muppet Vision. Let us also look at Epcot. 65 at Frozen Ever After, 15 at Mission Space, 70 at Remy, 40 at Soarin', and they still have lightning lanes, 10 at Spaceship Earth, they still have lightning lanes. So again, it's very, very busy, especially in this park. Multiple attractions, over 100-minute wait. Most of the rides here are an hour or longer. So I think we've done pretty good. And I'm excited to ride Mickey and Minnie's in about an hour. So I'll see you then. The time has come to tap in at Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. I'm really glad I was able to pull this attraction earlier with the power of the fiddle faddle. Was it at the time I wanted exactly? No, but I had like an hour and 15 minutes to find other fun things to do in Disney's Hollywood Studios, and that's exactly what I recommend to all of you. I have a problem, probably, where I treat fiddle faddling like a game, and I'm very competitive. It wasn't the exact time I wanted, but it was about an hour and 15 minutes out from my last lightning lane, which is pretty darn good for how busy it is, and considering the fact that I didn't even start booking lightning lanes until 3 o'clock this morning, which again, I would absolutely never tell you to do. But in that middle time, I did exactly what I would tell you to do, which was grab a snack, do a filler attraction like Muppet Vision 3D or Star Tours, go shopping. The best way to use Multipass is to not only exclusively use Multipass, use it for your heavy hitter attractions, and then throughout the day fill in with those theater shows, with those movies, with shopping, with dining, etc. And that's truly the best way to have a day. You don't have to be on your phone all day, the entire day, trying to line everything up just so that you're back to back lightning lanes. Book those, and then when you've got time to spare in the middle, that's when you do those less in-demand attractions and activities. I'm having a fun time being outside the theater right now, too, because I don't know that I've ridden this attraction since I went to the real Chinese theater in Hollywood on our Amazing Adventures by Disney trip a couple of months ago. And I'm just having really nice memories of that. If you want to check out what the Hollywood tour of Adventures by Disney is like, please go enjoy those videos. We literally got to go to Imagineering, and it was unbelievable. But anyway, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway is a very cute family attraction. It's one of the newest attractions in this park. And despite being one of the newest attractions, as I said, it's the first attraction ever to feature Mickey and Minnie, which is absolutely wild. They didn't get their own attraction until 2020. But it is super cute, no height requirement, and you are going to go into the cartoon world with Mickey, Minnie, Pluto, and I guess, unfortunately, goofy, but it's really, really fun, and I very much adore this attraction.
Beautiful day for a picnic.
Yup, we're off to the park.
See y'all there.
Nothing can stop us now. Everything is just so peachy. I don't know how, and I really try.
Nothing was gonna go wrong.
Nothing can stop us now.
I really do think that is such a cute attraction. It makes me smile every time I notice new things. I love Cowboy Minnie. I love her so much. It's just an adorable attraction, absolutely on my must-do list while I'm here, and I'm glad I got to ride it. Now, let us do one final weight check before we call it a day. There's about an hour left of park time. Park closes at 9 o'clock tonight. It's 7:45. 25 minutes at Alien Swirling Saucer, so if I really wanted to, I could have gone over there and done that. 60 minutes at Slinky Dog, 105 still at Rise. No shows left. 50 minutes at Runaway Railway, which I did see come back with some 8 o'clock hour times at one point. Millennium Falcon Smugglers Run. 30 minutes, 80 minutes at Rock and Roller Coaster. 40 at Toy Story Mania, and 55 at Tower of Terror. So you could probably fiddle faddle a little bit and pull maybe one more thing, but that is pretty much to be expected. An hour of park time left on a really busy day. There's not gonna be a ton left, but you could maybe grab one more thing. And don't forget, the last hour of the park is a great time to go jump in line for something, because those wait times will continue to drop, especially as guests go to Fantasmic. There's 2 Fantasmic showings tonight, and as always, going to the later one will mean a less crowded theater, so that's always my recommendation. But even doing everything wrong before I got here, I did 6 different Lightning Lane attractions today, 5 of which I would say were really good uses of Lightning Lane, everything but Frozen, and I did all of the Tier 1 attractions with the exception of Slinky Dog Dash, so that's pretty good considering how I started. And the ways to make that even more successful: 1, be a Disney World Resort guest. Be able to book in that week-long window for your whole stay, as opposed to just 3 days in advance. But I do know that being a Walt Disney World Resort guest is not in the cards for everyone, so at the bare minimum, please book your Lightning Lanes 3 days in advance. Do not book them at 3 o'clock in the morning the day of, if you're able to. If you're able to book things 7 days or 3 days in advance, you should. Don't wait until the last minute like I did, because booking as early as you can does give you the best chances for the attractions and the times that you would like. Like I said earlier, if you can avoid coming at the busiest times of the year, you absolutely should. I know it is time that a lot of people have off, but a lot of people have it off. So if you can come on a less busy time than the main holidays here in the United States, that is gonna really, really help you out. Additionally, and this is more of a do as I say, not as I do tactic, if you are coming especially during a busy time and you want to maximize your day, you need to get here earlier. Rope drop different attractions. I've done a whole rope drop series as a resort guest. Rope drop different attractions that you're not able to pull as Lightning Lanes. For example, as a non-resort guest, I would probably not have been able to get Rise of the Resistance today. So if you wanted to maximize your time, you should rope drop that attraction, because even if you end up waiting an hour or so for it at rope drop, that is better than the 120+ minute wait we saw for the majority of the day. All that said, the tactics that I used today, from fiddle faddling, always making sure you have one, checking back time and time again even before I got into the park, all of those things are tips you should use to maximize your day when you are purchasing Multipass. Just like I say to my girlfriends, never settle. Never settle for the first thing it offers you. Book it for sure, but then keep fiddle faddling, keep looking and seeing what you can pull. Can you pull a better time? Can you pull a better attraction? And honestly, the vast majority of the time, the answer is yes. Additionally, knowing which attractions are worth using the Lightning Lane at and which ones are not is very helpful. So again, head back to those Lightning Lane guides I made when the system first rolled out for the huge overview, the resort guest video, and all of the parks as a non-resort guest to give you the ultimate breakdown park by park of how to use this. I know the system can be confusing, but if today taught us anything, it's that even on a really busy day, even coming in at a disadvantage, you can still maximize it. Again, 6 attractions, 5 bangers. I think that's pretty good for the day before Thanksgiving as a non-resort guest. So definitely let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Let me know what else you want to see. When we kick off 2025, I will do a brand new Lightning Lane guide like I have for the past several years, so you can look forward to that. And in the meantime, friends, make sure to rate, review, subscribe, follow us on social media, come hang out with the Man Fam at Discord. And until next time, friends, I'm Molly, and it has been so magical. Good night.